Yesterday when I was out with Oxby, he I was going over it. I was telling him he was very intrigued as to what my thoughts were about everything that was going on, and I owed him an explanation. No one in shift 2 should be kept in the dark as to what's going on, as they're the ones that have been paying the price.
Absolutely.
And and they have been kept in the dark. And what was so ironic as to what happened was, in the midst of telling that tale, that's when McQuillan walked up.
This is one of those things, right? Remember the other day when you told me that guy twatted the number 187 and it might have just been his lucky day? That was your call sign and it was very odd. It seems like it happened again with what happened last night, right?
It did. Though I feel it's less about coincidence and much more about finally being able to open my eyes to what's in front of me. You know, being down in the city, we live ping by ping.
We do. It's very fast paced and it's very difficult to take a step back and really look at your surroundings, right?
And everything in between. The moment the next one happens, everything before it is very quickly forgotten. And so I look at Shawn walking up here less as a coincidence or a matter of fate, and perhaps to some degree maybe it is. Rather, it's a continuation of something that's been going on for 2 months, but we've been blind to. Maybe not all of us, but this is the kind of thing that I got to thinking last night. Nobody ever attempted to stop him or the hounds, dating all the way back to when I left that murder on its own and I handed it over. And then a month later, we're sitting in that meeting room discussing how the hell each and every time I brought it up, it was somehow forgotten. And the excuse being, oh, well, I couldn't find the report. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe it should have been there. And maybe that would have helped. But it ain't like those conversations just didn't happen. And in the midst of all that, excuse after excuse was made as to why we needed to go light on them out of all people. I want you to soak that in there for a moment. That these individuals who could have been used to argue for bringing back Hut were now presented a plea deal with lesser charges than what were deserved. Those people hunted down law enforcement because their property was raided. And that behavior was excused. That behavior was a consequence going all the way up to the chief of police stating, just throw it on the docket. I don't even put this on open. Just to be clear here.
I agree. I didn't agree with the plea deal then.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for cutting you off right there, but
no, that's fine.
In that room, we did not even managed an hour of back and forth. We did not even manage to get to the part to underline what they did to not just Remy, but two members of the judiciary, let alone everything else in between. Yet for some odd reason, none of that mattered. And as a consequence of inaction, and mind you, I don't even believe that plea deal ended up getting signed, now that I think about it. What the hell happened to it? All of that defense for them, of all people. And I want you to consider the contrast to what happened this past week. Where now all of a sudden the ADMC is the enemy. Why? Where is the, like, this ain't even about consistency that I'm ranting about or moaning about. It's making choices that are convenient in the moment. So when Shawn walked up here, that was an extension of the, what's the word I'm looking for? That's just a continuation of our lack of follow through. How many individuals are going to be looking at what happened yesterday and justifying any future action just because I was shot and Oxby was shot, and not wondering why the fuck didn't we do something 2 months back, 1 month back, 2 weeks back?
Yep. The short road leads nowhere worth going, sir.
I spoke to Shang yesterday. I told him what happened here.
Okay.
I also mentioned, without bringing up the announcement, that Shawn's actions are going to reflect on ADMC because law is too damn dumb to tell the difference. And that bothers me.
I mean, you're not wrong. Even though Shang, is a violent felon, he has stated to us multiple times that not only does he not endorse what the hounds do, I believe him when he says he hates them due to how he speaks about them. I don't understand their involvement. I don't think Shang does either. And
he does.
Right. Oh, okay.
And I can tell you what's going on. Now, mind you, some of this will be speculation. Can't know fully what's in a man's mind. When the day of the Finley Milton raid, Shawn was outside. I believe Rhodes made note of it as well. Perhaps not who was inside, but rather a vehicle sitting across the street. It was Shawn's vehicle. I don't know what his intent was. It wasn't there when we left. And last night, the topic came up. However, as did some other things. I don't want to, we don't have to go through each and every detail, but Shawn ain't doing Shawn is doing what Shawn wants to do because Shawn wants to do it. TJ is just an excuse and his memorial. The raid 2 months back is just an excuse. The man has just lost his mind.
What? Did he tell you why he was doing what he was doing last night? Shawn, not Shawn.
I asked him, and he kept listing a number of reasons. Off the top of my head, I don't remember each one. I was trying to get a sense of what his intent was, given he found me here, given he listed out quite a few reasons, but it all sort of stemmed back to fuck the police and their corruption. But he couldn't really hone in precisely on the why. I believe him shooting me last night, despite everything I said to him. And I stood there and I told him, myself and Oxby are standing here discussing the very topic of what should and should not be occurring and what the repercussions are and how we cannot be sacrificing ourselves due to our own decision making. I told him, if you shoot us in front of each and every member of this, in front of all these law enforcement, you are simply going to undermine our ability to actually make change. Because how many are going to walk away saying, well, this is why we don't talk to them. This is why they are the enemy. And he shot me anyways. Knowing all that.
And this is the sickening thing that I think Shawn's narrow-minded brain can't comprehend. Believe it or not, and I understand who this guy is, I have somewhat of a respect for Shang on how he at least tries to approach conversation before doing anything violent. It's like Shang has got his message across to us more than McQuillan has, and McQuillan is trying to use violence to get his message across. I don't think he understands how powerful conversations can be when you aren't being violent.
I don't think Shawn has a message. I think he's too thick for that.
I mean, he has to justify what he's doing in some way.
I don't think he does. I don't think his brain is right. I don't think it worked like that. What I'm trying to say there, Frost.
I think he's just a bad guy. He's just a bad person.
I think he's a broken person. And I don't mean the kind that has a broken heart. I mean one that's been shot one too many times in the head.
It's our job to fix this.
Well, the first step goes, there needs to be a very clear, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. I think that this, first and foremost, this message 4 days ago, following the recent raid of Finley Milton, both the ADMC and the Hounds have escalated their aggression and violence to a PD. This is negligent. And this needs to, I've already made a copy. And I'm not saying I'm going to go and press charges against the ass chief. But that dumb fuck put up something that could have done a lot more damage and maybe already has by polluting the minds of those that had nothing to do with anything this past couple weeks. The problem here starts with our department, who can't even tell the difference between two gangs, two MCs that absolutely loathe each other. Now, don't get me wrong, something needs to be done about the hounds, but it don't help when our own law don't even know the difference between the two. How does that even happen? How do you confuse one versus the other? How does someone like yourself and myself or any other person begin to get ostracized because you have a bunch of fucking that don't understand that something wrong has occurred and it needs to be corrected?
Ruth told me something today. Now, I don't know how true it is or how much of a game of telephone it may be. So don't take this on face value. When Miller destroyed the first car, he said that he doesn't feel the need to destroy the second car too. Maxwell told him to.
Yeah, she told me yesterday.
Now, I don't want to... If Miller got told that the cars were sentimental and he didn't pass that information on to Maxwell, then how is Maxwell to know any different? And this is the thing. I don't think Maxwell would do something in bad faith.
That's a lie.
Maxwell, in this situation, I don't think she would have destroyed the vehicles knowing they were a memorial. I don't think Miller told Maxwell what he knew.
I don't doubt that. But in lieu of all of this, we too have forgotten the core principles here. Let me explain something. When law enforcement gets a raid, we cannot just go in there doing whatever we want. That is something that is make-believe, has been made up to try to obfuscate all this, and I think we've lost the sense of what went wrong first and foremost. Now, I ain't gonna go on a damn witch hunt, right? There's a difference between resolving and looking for problems. Let's start with the first and foremost. When we receive a raid warrant, everything we do and our conduct must be within the realm of reason. Reason is a legal definition. You cannot just go inside and say, well, I got a warrant, I will do whatever it is I wish. It don't work that way. If you go in there and it is reasonable to believe that there may be some sort of secret room or something due to the structure of the building and whatnot, you must know that in good faith before you smash that wall down. You can not simply go in there and bust up whatever it is you wish. The damage that occurs, once again, must be reasonable damage. You can't just go in there saying, well, I got a raid warrant, so I'm just going to go and smash everything up. No, it must once again be reasonable. No. That first vehicle was 100% on Miller. However, regardless of whether or not she knew that second vehicle was sentimental or a memorial, But if she did say, if what Ruth is saying is true, what was Maxwell's reason for smashing that car to begin with?
Ruth said that Maxwell, again, right? We are logical people. This is telephone. But Ruth said that Maxwell told Miller to move or destroy the second vehicle to cover all bases.
And that right there is exactly it. That's why, regardless of whether or not it was sentimental, regardless of whether she knew or whether it was a memorial, she made an unreasonable decision, and the smashing of that vehicle was unlawful to begin with. The fact that it was sentimental makes it worse. The fact that it was a memorial makes it worse. It is still underlinedly illegal. And that's the bit that is lost in all this. Now, don't get me wrong. It ain't nothing black and white, right? If I'm in the chase and I might scratch up a civilian's vehicle unintentionally, is it bad? Yes. Are we liable? Yes. Are they likely to bite? Are they likely to go to court? No, because it's a small matter, and usually it just requires some sort of just a little bit of a pulling over that vehicle, pulling over our vehicle, and apologizing or something along those lines. Ain't nobody gonna pay no mind, But the moment you drive off, that's when it gets worse. That's when we ourselves make the problem worse. Am I making any sense here with at least what I'm trying to convey?
Yeah.
Let alone the fact, why the hell is this coming up now? It points
You're
at
right.
malice to begin with. Why is it that it took until Ruth? If Ruth is telling you, and she told me yesterday, and she had only just learned it, which means that either Maxwell hid that information from High Command, or it means that High Command withheld or is what's the word I'm looking for? They're like suppressing that. Now, they have no obligation to tell us, but their inaction is in and of itself telling.
You know what the two issues are for me in my head? Is the first issue is only Maxwell, Miller, and Opal were in that room. Anything that we say is with uncertainty, right? The second thing, Ruth hates the BCSO. She's very public about that. She has no reason to side with our thoughts or help us. And this is why it's so confusing, as I understand that we can't just believe everything Ruth says because that would be unreasonable. But why would she tell the high command of the BCSO these things?
Ruth ain't no liar. She was the only good captain out of the three. Slacks' dumbass didn't know the law or care for it. And Turner, for the longest time, would be absent. I know this because I used to work under them. And I saw it firsthand. I saw what happened to Dan. I saw him go through 30 days of just lack of inaction. What I learned is each one had a fault and a value, but I'll tell you this: Ruth was quick acting. And she is, out of the three, she was. There ain't a single doubt in my mind she's alive. I think the only thing I would question is, how do I put this? I do not question what Ruth is. Ruth would not manipulate the truth, is what I'm trying to say. But any doubt might be created from the individual who may be telling Ruth, you know? She would not withhold information either. She may hate or dislike the Blaine County Sheriff's Office, and she did get into that with me. We spoke about it. She was mad, surprised I moved up here. However, her concern with Blaine County was whether or not we actually patrolled up here. That was her issue. It wasn't like the department, but rather like a department that does not oversee the county that they are responsible for. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get that. And it also makes sense, because that is our job, to patrol this county. Imagine if it was the other way around, and LSPD only patrolled up north. Then it would be, everyone would realize how odd that is. But with the culture of the BCSO only patrolling south, and it was just accepted, is weird.
I want to focus back on my concern here. We need to correct what damage the LSPD has already done to the ADMC.
How do we do that?
I think we need to put another announcement up. The ADMC and the Hounds are not the same. Like, I don't know. Something. Look, I'm just going to be rather just forward with you. And this may sound a bit dramatic, but Peter's putting up that announcement is unconstitutional and something that I personally think should be ACR'd.
You want to talk to Peters about this?
No, I don't want to talk to him.
Okay, then ACR it. Get it done.
Well, hold on. While it can, I only bring that up to show how bad it is. I think the middle ground here, because right now I think an announcement would suffice, at least from us.
The thing that I will say is, if you think it's the right thing to do and it's unconstitutional, now be very honest with me here. Why would you not ACR him if it's the right thing to do? And this isn't me pushing you to do it. I'm genuinely curious and interested.
Because there are too many things to do. Because there are so many things that have gone wrong. The docket should be full of postings. Every single thing that we do, whether it's related with this or whether it's growing Blaine County, each thing must be weighed and prioritized. We do not have unlimited energy. We do not have unlimited resources. And so, for efficiency and a corrective announcement by us will suffice for now. An ACI would
Okay.
take all week.
Let's draft one up then. I can post it.
Do you
Let's get it
agree
done.
or disagree?
I agree.
I am trying to save any legal action against the Los Santos Police Department. I am saving that for if they. I am giving them an opportunity, as I do criminals, a warning that if they cross that line, I will send a barrage.
Now, I will say something. I spoke to King yesterday. I don't know if you're aware, and I don't think King would lie. The ADMC did do some bad stuff.
I don't think the ADMC is innocent in all this.
They shot down loads of cops. They took their knives out, cut into these officers, and wrote horrendous quotes and threats
When?
in their own officers' blood.
When?
This was, I believe, when they shot down the cops a couple of days before the raid, or whenever that was.
I don't give a fuck. Now, well, look, let me take that back.
Listen, respectfully, Knight, I was just giving you information, okay?
I'm not snapping at you. I'm snapping at the fact that even someone like King, who is at fault for this, and I want to be clear about this, King is at fault for letting Miller do what he did. King had every opportunity when he walked into that room and said he did not care about Finley to go as a sergeant, stop all this. How do you stand in a room full of high command, say, I don't give a fuck about Finley Milton, but then allow Miller to continue with the raid? Like, that man is fucking responsible. And don't get me wrong, and that's where that anger is coming from, Frost. Because, yeah, those things happen, but that don't change the fact that, I don't know. ADMC have done things. I want to be very clear here. They are not innocent. But it's annoying to me that even King would even bring that up to you. Because to me, it's mitigated. It's an attempt to mitigate a wrong.
It's like a justification. Right?
Exactly that. Exactly that. And I do apologize if you thought.
No, because I want to.
I want you to be able to say these things.
I wasn't telling you that to justify King's actions. I was telling you that because it was relevant information, right? Either way you took the information, it was still something that I was told. And I feel it still needed to be heard. Now, again, you are right. It was a justification from King. But what I'm trying to say is you are completely right with the announcement. ADMC and the Hound shouldn't be tarnished with the same brush. It is escalating. It is endangering our officers. And thirdly, it's not right.
It may jeopardize the entire case.
It may.
And I'm going to give you an example. I will be a defense attorney right now because I want you to recall we've already spoke about possibly going up on the stand for all this, right?
As a professional witness, right?
Correct. Now, I want to provide you a scenario. Let's say tomorrow, we arrest the ADMC under false pretenses, even proper pretenses. and their justification by an unbeknownst member of law enforcement. Let's say even something retaliatory, right? For TJ Walker tomorrow even. And that evidence is that RS, that PC, that the stop that occurs, right? Remember ADMC, they pull him over, pull him out of the vehicle, whatever. And you take a look at this announcement, and that gets entered in. Why did that traffic stop occur? Well, because they have been retaliating, quote unquote, says the officer, over everything around TJ Walker. So we suspected they may have been behind the crimes that occurred, right? This hypothetical situation. Well, guess what? When the evidence gets provided and we see that the ADMC have not done shit since that incident, then what? You see where I'm going with this?
And this is the problem, right? Because let's role play a scenario here. Imagine I'm Robin and you're up there as a witness, an expert witness, and I say to you, Brian Knight, do you believe that these raids were done in good faith? And your answer is going to be no, right? It's going to be a very challenging time. Let me just get this real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man? They built nuclear silos in our back garden. Who did? Where?
Oh, shit.
Hey, can you send me a photo of said nuclear silo? Send it while you're on the phone. Let me. You gotta be fucking. You're playing with me, right, Bean? There is. Please tell me there isn't nuclear silos in the camp. This is the last thing we need, Bean. Why you always gotta ring me with bad news? Is it registered to anyone? Angela Roberts? Angela Roberts isn't in our database.
You Babylon has
what?
upgraded the nuclear
Actually,
age?
no, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say transported to like MRPD, but don't do that. Holy shit. Wait, 1 second. Knight, take a look at this. What the fuck is that, Bean? We'll be right up there, okay? Oh no.
Okay, this ain't no nuclear silo. What the fuck is he saying? This is a dang bunker.
I'll be there soon. Knight, I need you to grab me. I do not dare turn. Thank you. All right, let's go take a look what these dumb fucks are.
We'll put a pin on all this. Look, I want to be rather clear here. I have no intention of legal action against LSPD, but there are certain things that we need to do to protect ourselves in future cases.
And
because
this is how...
if the ADMC... I strongly believe, and as I was telling the Oxby yesterday, is that this Dation that's currently fucking going on right now, all right, by the LSPD. Okay. It ain't just the... I don't believe it's just going to be the ADMC when they do strike. They have not yet. My problem is that when they do, I don't want that shit to go in the fucking shitter because the LSPD have a fucking rat up their ass. You have any food or drink?
Yeah. Our niece gave me some earlier, one sec. Good bucks.
Oh my God. Wait, it's over here?
I mean, good job. Yeah, I fucking love this shit. Wait, what's this? No trespassing. The fuck? No trespassing? Who the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is going on here?
What the fuck?
The fuck? Sir? Oh, that's fucking... You made me shit myself, mate.
I'm sorry.
Fucking running up here in fucking ghillie suit.
Sorry, I'm looking at these moonshine stills. They're cooking.
I wasn't wrong, right? This is a fucking nuclear silo.
It's not a nuclear silo, dumb fuck. It's a bunker.
No, it's got the doors that open up for the rocket to come out.